Guess what? It's a special Sunday edition of the program. That's right. It's Sunday, November 8th. My name is Robbie Coates. We have a special guest on the program this evening, ladies and gentlemen. As always, my co-host, the Victrix. How are you today?
Hey, how we doing, Rob? How we doing? What do we have? Professor X is in right now. I think he's coming to us live from his bunker.
Let me close this bunker door. What's going on, guys?
Excellent. Yeah, get that thing locked up. Who knows what could happen? I hope that you have some thick insulation, you got a Faraday cage and some blast shielding and all that. Probably, I imagine.
Well,
Right.
with this new virus spiking out of control just yesterday, it's higher than it's been all year. So just yesterday, it went.
Yeah, you better get down underground.
Yeah, I think we just shattered a glass ceiling. I think we just shattered the glass ceiling with this coronavirus spike. You can see it behind me. Let me roll out of the way.
Oh,
here.
yeah. Look, another chart. It looks like a roller coaster, and now it's going up again. Yeah, I see.
Notice
it's
it's the worst it's ever been yet as of yesterday.
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
horrifying. It's just everywhere, and I see it everywhere I go, and it's the talk around town because everybody has it, and like everyone's kids at school's got it, and everyone's, I run into people at the grocery store all the time who are and everyone is afraid. Everyone's wearing gloves and masks, and everyone's terrified because people are dying left and right, like all over town. Like everyone's got a story about how their kid died, or their wife and their kids died, or their dog died, because it jumps from dogs, it goes from people to people, animals get it, or everyone, everybody's talking about how their mother died, or their sister died, or their dog, or their dad, or their brother, or their son. And everybody I know knows somebody who's died. It's horrifying. We have to get this thing under control. Hey, wait a second. It's nothing like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. Where is it? I can't find it. Hey, Professor X, do you have anything to say about that?
Oh, just trying to hold back my rage on this one. It's like, all right, the news is basically running reality. So we just got to hope that they bring a happy, positive reality in 21, because the one they brought us in the most few years have been sucking. So you look at this second spike, to me, it's like people are rolling over. They're like, all right, we see the fraud. Got to see the fraud in this election. And you know who's doing it. And now you got to look and see the same people doing the numbers for COVID and how they're running this giant LARP. So I see the second spike, I'm hearing
Can you explain to the audience what LARP is, please?
That's a live action role play. People are picking it up and going, they're catching cues. There's some smart people out there on the left. There's some smart on the right. There's psychological battle going on, warfare, so to speak. The news is telling them how to react. They got them all hooked in right now. So everybody's playing the win. They're going to be playing the butthurt loser when they're trying to act like Trump's taking it from them. The LARP is just everybody seeing the collective game and pitching in to try to move Trump out of there, essentially this specific LARP. But other LARPs exist, and some take off and some get called out for what they are. The live action role play is where people pick it up, like the guy in the elevator that says, I'm not going on this elevator without you with the mask and some gloves and a helmet on because I believe in the virus. I'm like, so he's just trying to further the agenda, so
well, is that really a role play, or is that?
I think there's a role play existing in the hospitals.
Well, I mean, doesn't that become real? I mean, like in the isn't role playing like like a game, but aren't they actually doing it? I mean, doesn't it become more like an operation rather than
right? No, it is. I mean, some people are dumb, and you get people out there burning the streets and really killing people over this shit. At some point they get lost in the communication of what it really is. People are doing it, though. I mean, you got 50%. Supposedly it's 50-50, and we just had the closest, most voted on election of all time. But really what it was was a fucking landslide. And the media told us they had like 18% of real votes, basically. And they're trying to hold down the sport like, and we won. And if you try to take this, we'll kill everyone. And
are they saying that already? I mean, I knew that's what they were.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Professor X, but, the fact that the way they're trying to fire Trump by showing up to the White House last night, BLM, the Black Panthers, every liberal in that area showing up, packing in front of the White House, very organized, putting signs up all across the front of the fence and securing them. They had a wall. What do you call that? I mean, what kind of classy, when was the last time people gathered in front of for any president that was just elected and vandalized the entire property with signs.
Did they vandalize the entire White House property?
Oh,
They put a wall up. I heard.
Yeah, they put a wall of signs up on the fence.
No, but they put a. I thought they put a wall up like the White House put up
they did.
They
did. It was 13 feet high.
Okay,
it was 13 feet high.
13 feet. I thought walls didn't work.
Okay, and then they had a big sign in the middle that said, "You're fired." You know, Obama was fired too. Nobody wanted him around, and he stuck around for 4 more years. We didn't do anything. We didn't go to the White House and tell him to get out. We didn't do any of that stuff. He won, and we moved on. So, yeah, that's not the way to do it. I mean, Trump will leave when it is time and when it's official. You're not going to put it. Look, they're riding in on unicorns. They're building little rainbows on the gates and everything, and they think these people actually think he's going to leave. They thought he was actually going to come out last night and leave, that he was actually fired. They actually think he's fired right now.
That's because these people are idiots. That's because they're very stupid. I stepped off the screen because I just come across this. I have this whole folder of images that I just browsed through during the show, and this is really the way I've been feeling lately. So anyway, this screen will be gone in a moment, but this is quite profound to me. Lot of truth to that, but anyway, continue, please, Victor.
Also, Professor X, did you want to weigh back in on the COVID situation and the spike and how, Democrats are so smart for mailing in their ballots, but they'll meet up in the streets for damage or protest or anything at a heartbeat, and they'll hug and, you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but it's more than it's a real thing that they're doing controls and ways to keep it from spiking. It's more about artificial creation and chains of creation of chains of people and families affected by 1 or 2 false positives. You get out one batch of false positives. You got a mom or a dad in the family. Next thing you know, they've come home, and now you got 4 or 5 people in the family, however many, that are all either, am I affected by COVID? Did mom become affected by COVID, and now I'm affected? Now potentially all 5 of us have to scramble for bathrooms, FEMA, all this bullshit. And it's all started because of one person above you that had basically less faith in God or their immune system. They said, oh shit, I got this fake ass virus. 99% of people live. I guess we're trying to protect the weaker of the population. I'm cool with that. But the psychological way they're ramming it onto us, where people are afraid.
That's what the virus is. It's something that spreads through people's psyches. It is entirely psychological. There's no evidence of any danger from that. They would have you believe, and they've stated verbatim that, I mean, even now I still think they're saying it's a virus. I don't remember the last time I heard it was, but a virus the likes of which humanity has never seen before. Man, that sounds pretty fucking scary.
It's out of control. Don't forget that it's out of control.
Out of control because Trump is an idiot and he can't control the virus. But Biden, he can control it. He's going to come in. He's going to solve coronavirus, and everyone. You know what this means. I was thinking about this today. People are just. They were doing some polls. They were polling people on the streets, some libtards, kids, and they want to know what the most important issue is. And a certain age range, certain dumb age range was the most important thing was getting coronavirus under control. Now that Biden is president, what's your most important issue now that your favorite, now that your retard candidate is president? And and they said getting coronavirus under control because. I guess they think the guy who thinks everyone has a right to bad cat care or whatever can get coronavirus under control. And the whole premise is where was I going with this? The whole premise is stupid to me.
Well, they got their puppet. They got their puppet without a doubt. Well, they hope they got their puppet. Why do you think everybody?
Yeah. But the whole issue was their main issue was they want to get coronavirus under control. They think that their retard candidate they think that somebody. How does a person control a virus? How does an administration control a virus? It's like saying they're going to control which way the wind blows.
Well, the new virus that I'm hearing is Biden-Harris. So, we have way more to worry about there. you combined Biden Harris with COVID, we've got major issues on the horizon, and that's kind of the
Well,
word
that's
around
their whole
Washington.
platform, isn't it?
Well, Joe Biden is supposed to gather his team tomorrow. He's gathering a team of scientists.
I don't think
That
he's
he said,
gathering anything. I don't think
because
he
he
can dress
listens,
himself.
because Joe listens to the scientists. He's going to get a bunch of people gathered up and see what they tell him is the right thing to do. Because Joe says he has a mandate from the American people to, for climate change, racial justice, social justice, and they're going to ram it through. They already said it last night with all their Jeeps parked out front. They said
I heard they weren't even registered, those Jeeps. Aren't a lot of those Jeeps just off lots? Aren't they just dealer vehicles? They're not, then they're up for sale and stuff like that. They don't even belong to anybody.
There's some weird stuff. Well, what I don't like about it is, why are they there? Why Joe's supposed
because
to
COVID.
be this, Joe's supposed to be this non-corporate guy, which he's all corporate money. And
wait a minute, are they really all Jeeps? They're not really all Jeeps, are they?
There was like 5 or 6 brand new Jeep, whatever they're called.
They were brand new
everywhere. There was a ton of them. They're brand new. They're because Jeep something, something. I know they donated a lot of money to Joe in the campaign,
Incredible.
and probably a bunch to BLM. So I don't like that Jeep gets to benefit from Joe's so-called acceptance speech. We've already got corporate companies making money off of Joe. They have already got him puppeted. Well, we're going to park all our shit.
I think he is a puppet.
Like
actually a puppet somehow. Like,
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
How does he get dressed in the morning?
Why has Trump had any cars? Is Trump doing business with any car dealerships like that? Any car companies where they get to park front row? Cars that aren't even registered to anybody. They're nobody cars. They're just cars off the lot that were driven there and parked there for some couple that's hot on Biden to go sit in the bed of it on a couple of Jeep chairs, fold out Jeep chairs. They probably got to keep the chairs. I'm just saying, what the hell is going on? All of a sudden, I'm getting Jeep advertisements I blocked them. I reported them as fraudulent and scam. All of a sudden, Jeeps everywhere.
You have Jeep advertisements everywhere.
Well, I told you my main device went down in the power outage that was brief. And I have my screenshots of it on there, so I can't access it on this backup device. I don't want to mess up my feed.
You might be able to. You might be able to. I like how my head has disappeared for this shot. So listen.
Yeah, Sonny, I don't like that. But let's shift gears here. Go ahead, Rob.
What I want to talk about, I want to make everyone feel better. I want everyone to feel okay. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the crap you listen to. We make a lot of the crap you listen to sound better. So listen.
That's good.
Everyone, it's going to be fine. I know that people are worried that because they haven't seen Trump. I know Mr. Anonymous was getting upset because Trump was golfing. I told him to just let Trump go golfing. He has a plan. Everything is fine. If anyone saw the last installment of the program, we had that video in the beginning of the I can't remember the guy's last name, Swinsniak, Swazinski, what's his name? Hey, Professor, are you there, Professor X?
Yeah, that was the Alex Jones guy you're talking about.
Yeah, can you tell us about this? Tell us what we got going on here, ladies and gentlemen. We got watermark ballots potentially.
So the watermark ballots thing. Let's get into that. That's a whole layer of just like, okay, yeah, we got you. You're set up. 3D, 4D, 5G chess. They're playing checkers. They're all just fucking themselves, right? We'll talk about that. But the second thing I want to talk about was the QFS thing he mentioned. So that was the only thing that made me a little suspicious, because that is the QFS is attached to the quantum financial system. So that's all.
Can you explain that a little bit? What's the quantum financial system?
I mean, it's I believe that's the white hat version of what's coming down the pipe that the New World Order's got labeled as something else. You know, I swear that thing is now looking to me more like.
Is this how they're going to track our bank accounts and be able to take our money out from under our noses and stuff like that? Because
you know, the QFS is more about using those systems for a benefit to, you know, away from evil, or you know, to take it back from the 1%, or you know, is it the 1%?
oh, I see.
So it's the new system Trump was supposed to roll out. It's supposed to be associated with the gold dollar. You know, a lot of people are talking about different cryptocurrencies associated to it. We know cryptocurrency has a future because Trump wants it to save everything, and the New World Order wants it for, you know, they already got it figured out. It's going to be the mark of the beast. So we know it's coming. So I swear I'm thinking Trump wants to get in there, get something preemptively done before they can get their hands on it. He came in and basically killed that rally. There was a bull market and he stopped it. So the QFS, I've been watching it from the cryptocurrency angle. Now I see it, they collide, these worlds, when Trump and then the Republicans are fighting, and you see it all coming together. The QFS part is attached to just a whole bunch of stuff that may or may not come to fruition. It's great though. If you heard what is this part of Jasara, Nisara.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to ask you about, and if you could talk anything about that.
So Nisara and Jasara is basically a reset of sorts. I mean, I'm not an expert on this stuff because you get into it, it just sounds like lollipops and rainbows. You're like, oh, this shit is too good. It'll never happen. You know how corrupt this world is. It's just hard to believe it. So
it is hard to believe. It sounds pretty fantastic.
I mean, they're talking about resetting everything. You have access to your trust accounts and all kinds of money available, and just we're going to be doing things differently. The way finance and commerce is handled, and you know, you can dive into that topic. That'll take you down a rabbit hole. It's a great one. But the issue with the QFS ballot means now we have some fantastical association here to this. I mean, if really we see a ballot come out and it says QFS on it and it's blockchain and it's solving our voting problem, and you don't have Bitcoin already, oh my Lord. You know what I mean? Like it
Oh,
means
yeah,
that all
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit
yeah.
is
So
real.
you're saying we should buy Bitcoin right now?
Well, I think Bitcoin sucks. It's going to get jammed up into tops, and people are going to.
We, ladies and gentlemen, we all did. The three of us here actually did some cryptocurrency mining ourselves. We do a lot of things here at WERV. Stay tuned for more, ladies and gentlemen. So we know that cryptocurrency is a big deal, and we know a little bit about what we're talking about. So what were we talking about, Professor?
If we see QFS on a ballot that says, you know, quantum financial system version of just blockchain securing a vote, that means they've done a ton of work on this whole thing. And that means the rumors are true. We already see, you know, I've seen the XRP stuff. There's Stellar. We can dig real deep and go back into the Economist magazine, the Rising Phoenix on the magazine. You know, the reset plan for 2018, and then Trump got in, so we can't do that. So now they're just like full steam ahead. We're going to battle through this, and you see this sloppy ass deal they're trying to do. So anyways, if we see QFS come out on the ballot, that confirms that this system exists, and that means blockchains is fully adopted, and it's got the best use case you ever heard of because it just saved America. And
yeah, that's very true. Very true.
if you don't have that shit already, I mean, at some point, I'm wondering how all this is supposed to happen. And people, you know, they've been putting it out. You know, all the XRP news comes out every day. It's like we got regulation here, regulation here. We got rails of liquidity, all kinds of different stuff set up where they're already with the banks. And if you go deep with the crypto, you know there's already association for all that to line up. So the QFS thing would be huge, but it just gives me doubt because it's part of that fantastical wish it would be available. I hope it is. You know, that'd be fucking awesome. But if it is, if that really comes
well,
out,
see, it seemed to me that the guy, I didn't know anything about the guy who claimed that he was involved and said that this is what happened. But it seems to me, okay, so he was involved in the hotel business, and he lives in Spain. I know that much. I think that's the guy, or maybe there's another guy. No, that's not the first. That was the second guy. So that was somebody who came out today and confirmed what the first guy said. But the first guy who we had a video of on the last episode of the program, it seems to me he's putting his entire reputation on the line. He says he's involved with it. And if it doesn't turn out to be true, that guy is basically finished professionally, right? He just turns out to be
absolutely he's done. Absolutely, you can't make claims like that and expect people to just brush it off. Yeah, he would absolutely be done. He's not the only one that's come out with that same style of confession where he was given permission to pass this information on. But I just don't, see them passing it on, but hey, who knows? Maybe the slow leak of it is what they want. They want it to slowly blossom out, but it's pretty interesting if true. It would be
I think it's
the
true.
it would be the greatest of all time.
It would be. Go ahead, Professor.
It won't have the QFS part. I guarantee you, though, there's some sort. If there's a sting, they have to have done some blockchain on it, so it'll be a touch of that. But if it really is the full package, get ready, because that means a lot of the stuff that we've been expecting to be good to come down the pipe, like some of these happy endings for us I mentioned in the past.
Yeah,
it means some of that stuff could be legitimate, and that means we could potentially see Trump have this plan all worked out. So. Why he's out golfing, it gives me a lot of hope.
That's why I think he's out golfing, because he knows he's got it in the bag. He knows that they are just destroying themselves. And none of us have any doubt that Trump won the election handily, that he won it hand over fist. He won it he probably won it in the biggest landslide in the history of the country. And I think that the amount of voting fraud that we're actually going to see come to light, that we're going to shine the spotlight on, is going to be astonishing. It's just going to be simply astonishing. It's just going to be astonishing. Astonishing. Victrix. What do you think? I think it'll be astonishing.
Well, I never doubted that Trump wouldn't be reelected. I knew there would be a lot of hurdles here. I mean, if you look, they love Biden overseas. They love him. They love the weakness. Look at all the corporations. Look at all the corporations and sports teams and everybody that dumped millions of dollars into BLM. And BLM was all over every baseball game, football game. You got commercials of athletes saying racism, fight it. We got serious racial issues in the country. There's serious racism right now. And then back to the Coca-Cola commercial.
The only racism I see is Black Lives Matter making people kneel down and kiss their boots and stuff like that.
All of this money is pouring in. Like, not only is it disrespectful that the money was used in a campaign, it's just disrespectful, period. I mean, if it's really a legit organization, it should have nothing to do with any of the election, people in the streets, everybody's demanding the president be kicked out. I mean, all this stuff plays a part. I mean, I totally feel that the Facebook interference, the Twitter interference, the BLM, all the money poured in, the Tampa Bay Rays putting $100,000 into it, and all these teams and people donating. We don't even know where the money. Have you heard any of the great stories on TV or any of the news networks or radio networks about all the great communities that BLM money has funded?
No, tell me a story.
None. I don't know of any. I've never heard of any. Seems like that disappeared when Joe's campaign started to get hot. So
good stories.
Yeah, once Joe really started to pour the television commercial, it seems like BLM came in, got all the money to come in for Joe, and then the TV commercials, like I've never seen before. I mean, I've seen a few commercials that will get replayed.
Interesting.
I've never seen this amount of commercials before on television. He had hundreds of different commercials all the way up to the election. And I mean, he must have had half of Hollywood working for him, without a doubt.
And yet he didn't have a single boat parade.
Professor X.
What's up? Hit me.
I mean, what do you think about the special interest? We're talking about Jeep and all the corporations and Walmart, all these people that put all this money.
Go ahead, Professor. I'm sorry.
It's just a sellout situation. Everybody's selling out, like a Jeep. Why not? I mean, they really just don't like Trump, and there's a reason for that. Everybody in America either loves him or hates him. So, I don't know.
How can big corporations hate Donald Trump?
Because of what he's doing, I guess it's going against. I mean, I think
what he's doing to make everybody make tons of money.
We're not dealing with the corporations that our dads and our moms grew up with. We're dealing with corporations.
I know. I'm just trying to crack into this egg here. They've
been basically, I'm talking Satan level stuff, guys. Like,
yep.
Why Why does a couple different companies start adopting conferences about Moloch and stuff like that? Where, I mean, I can get into the
About
fake
what
level.
now? About what? What was that? Was it?
Well, for instance, Verizon Wireless goes and opens up a conference titled Moloch. It's a Moloch conference. Sounds
What's
great.
Moloch? What is Moloch? What is
It's
Moloch?
a it's a I think it's the devil. It's a demon. It's some evil shit, and it's all
No
basically
kidding.
relevant. Oh, and you can trace many of these. Companies are going satanic, and once you get
I
to
know.
that,
I have been telling people that, but I did not know what you're talking about here. And Moloch, you're telling me, is some supernatural being, satanic being, or the Satan?
yeah,
Satan
that's the one of 2020 where it's child sacrifice, and it's the one that Hillary Clinton said she was going to sacrifice a chicken in the backyard to Moloch. So it was more about, I think they have power there. Like that's the one that's actually giving them doing actual work out here for them, like the Satan shit. But so why does Jeep sell out? Why do they give them the money? They're just furthering this agenda. So they're not this company of Americans who are building products, and it's more about means to an end. And at this point, money is more a means to an end. So the corporations, they use it for one thing. They're buying back their building corporation. They're buying back stocks. They're not giving it to the people. They're cutting this down. They're putting it in their pocket. Basically, New World Order style. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the CCP or China, they're running all of these corporations through proxy, all kinds of stuff.
Professor X, I heard that Jeep is moving to China, or there's some connection to China. That's what I'm hearing. There's some connection. Maybe they
Everything's
have.
connected to China these days.
Well, does it have to be a dirty connection through Joe Biden? I mean, geez, why can't it be? There's a lot of legit
Well, I
business.
mean, that's what I mean.
I know people. I know a guy in Orlando that flies to China all the time. He lives up in Windermere. He's been doing business in China his whole life. I mean, there's people that do business there. Trump does business there. Everybody does. But why?
Yeah, but
Why does Jeep have to fill Biden's pockets so they can park their cars at his inauguration, or not inauguration, but his
they're probably getting
pre-planned speech.
Some sort of deal. They probably have some sort of.
That's horrible. That is horrible. That is what Trump warned everybody about in the debates. He said, "This is what you're getting with this guy. Everybody's controlling Joe. Joe's a puppet. Everybody controls Joe."
Yeah.
What did Jeep give him, or what did they give BLM, or what did they give him? It's like, how did they get the money to him? Did
Everybody's getting money or
did
getting
Jeep
promises
fund
or
a
something.
Senate race? Did they fund a Senate race? Is Jeep going to help fund the Senate race in Georgia coming up here? What? In which way is the money coming? Maybe it wasn't a publicized. Here's $1.5 million to Joe, or 10 million. How did they do it? Why does Jeep have to be so involved? So I just think we've already seen not even day one. It's not even an official day one yet. And we've already seen a corporate company control Joe.
So we're saying that Jeep is going to be the first one to pull the strings, ostensibly.
I'm saying Jeep's already pulled whatever their connection is with Joe. They have one. There's no reason for any automobile company to have a new line.
Well, yeah, they're all getting. I mean, it's not like they gave them the world. I mean, they gave them some Jeeps to park in front of them. I mean, but they definitely are. They're making it look like there's people there.
Well, yeah, they're advertising their brand new Jeeps. That's like, all right, Joe made it in.
They probably got
Jeeps.
some nice incentives, some pretty nice incentives, and some, obviously they're committing a fraud. So I imagine,
which is what it all. Okay, then that's kind of what it all connects to, is the fraud. So, and that's what we're on tonight. We're kind of on this emergency broadcast.
I think that's finally. It's finally what the country is on. The whole country's on it finally, I think. The fraud thing. The Joe Biden is a fraud. How did he make all that money in public service for how many years? 40 something years? 43 years?
40. This will be his 48th year.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But the fraud, it's just the vote though. You know, all this whole year of bullshit with the virus, that's legit. But we see it. Okay, I'm not dumb. You know, I'm speaking as a lefty here. We did steal the vote. You know, we did it before we stole it. But, you know, the virus is real, though. Let's be serious. That's a real thing, right? That's what a lefty's saying right now. I don't understand how they can see. I mean, how do you not see it has to be either they're just completely in tune with what the news is saying, or
Yeah.
the news is, we're seeing two different versions of it. Like they're playing two different commercials, one for the inner city where the blue is, they're playing us commercials for the red. You know, they're showing us different
No,
things.
I think that. Well, I don't think that all of us are locked into that programming. First of all, and secondly, I think it really is programming in a sense that the ones that the mindless sheep that are just wearing masks around everywhere, outdoors in the rain, at the beach, are just locked to CNN and NPR, and it's their entire reality. I don't. The repetition that they use these buzzwords, and there's all sorts of compilations out there of them doing this. All these different left leaning hosts, talking heads, all saying the same goddamn script all day, every day. And they literally it just gets drilled into those susceptible brains. It just gets drilled into it like an implant, like a dental implant. It ain't coming out. I don't know. That's how they do it. That's how they program. They're literally being programmed. The program, they're just glued to the programming, and they're being programmed by the programming. Ladies and gentlemen, tune into the program, and we will undo your programming. Get reprogrammed the right way on the program. Victrix.
Well, I noticed. I noticed the guys on CNN. I pretty much watch the CNN. I mean, I check out Fox and stuff, but I want to see how they act. That's their mood.
That's
tells
good.
you everything.
Espionage.
Their mood tells you everything, and that's what I've been making my decisions on, because they've been involved for so many years, and you just watch what they're doing, and I'll tell you, it just seems to me like all these newscasters are worried about something. It seems to me that they're worried. What is it that they could be worried about?
So
I
they're
don't
not all
see.
smiles.
They're not all smiles. I do not look, when something's final, it's final. Even all the Trump people will go their own way once it's final. Everybody will accept it and move on. But
Guys,
there's this lingering fog in the streets. There's this lingering fog in the streets this weekend. It's that Trump head in the sky. They know something's going on. And there's a possibility. Okay, and that's what they know. And the fact
Wait,
that they know.
possibility. You mean they are aware that they are losing? We're talking about the talking heads, right? The talking heads know that they haven't really won.
I just think they know the celebration was possibly too early, because they know about Madam President Clinton, Madam President, and they know about President Gore. Okay, those were both published. Those are both known things. They've already had those people as winners, when in fact Al Gore and Bush, their race wasn't decided till the second week of December.
Yeah, I know.
So here we are in early November. Yeah, we're in early November. Haven't these people learned? Two of their all-star candidates made fools of themselves early, twice.
I kind of want to. That's creepy. It was just Halloween. I love King of the Hill. Anyway, I did want to talk. Well, that's better. That's maybe better, because that leads me into evil. Talk of evil. That's what I think everyone's.
Professor X, you kick into this, and then I'll follow up on it.
Okay, and I'll segue back, if you can do such a thing, into what we were just talking about,
Yes.
And say how, you're talking about the newscasters. Well, we've been told since the declass of the JFK files that almost every single newscaster back in that time was documented CIA. So why are we thinking now that these guys aren't? And isn't the CIA supposed to be acting in the best interest of America? So how is
they used to be. They used to.
Do you think it's changed?
Oh, yes, yes, it absolutely has. Now, see, listen, my dad has a lot to say about this. My dad was involved in intelligence in the Army back in the day, and he says the CIA, the whole function of the CIA is supposed to be intelligence in other countries outside the United States. They aren't supposed to operate inside the United States at all. And I guess that they are collecting all kinds of data on people now. It's completely changed. They're all a bunch of commies. They've been infiltrated. The CIA is full of commies. According to my dad, who thankfully, thank God my dad is who he is. He taught me how to identify a commie from a mile away. I can smell a commie a mile away, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Dad.
I love that.
If there's one thing my dad taught me, it's how to identify a commie.
I'll tell you what, if there's one thing I learned from Rush Limbaugh is exactly what you just said. That is the whole purpose. That is the whole purpose of the Limbaugh Institute of Advanced Conservative Studies, is to learn how to spot them. And I mean, and they might not be an actual somebody that works for Russia or something, but these people have dangerous ideologies, man, and it doesn't lead to good places when they get their full way. So that's what we're fighting. We're not like, I have people, all the liberals on Facebook are like, oh, just everybody get along and concede to us and stop being so mean. It's like, first off, we're not being mean. We're arguing in the arena of ideas. I mean, we leave it there. It's not, we argue in the arena of ideas. And when we're done arguing, even if it's a battle, it gets left there. We can go out for tea and crumpets afterwards. I'll buy you a steak. I mean, it's what it's all about. Just don't be upset that we don't want your ideology running our cash flow and our lives and our potential opportunities. And there's a lot of people that are starting fresh in the world, and they deserve the opportunity to have a good economy and opportunities to do their thing. Why should someone starting fresh, straight out of high school or college, have to deal with social justice and, taxes for climate change, wealth taxes, they're going to undo the Trump taxes day one. They're going to do some sort of nationwide lockdown. It's a mandate, Joe said. They're going to fuck with everybody's money. When you talk about these things, people freeze their wallets. They don't, when uncertainty hits, even people with a lot of money say, hey, I'm going to hold back until, the skies clear up and I know the coast is clear to drop some dough. Because money doesn't come easy. People know that. And if you're going to dump a large portion of your money on remodeling or this or that, you want to know that the opportunity to get it back is right around the corner, not years down the road of rebuilding, or you make a big mistake and spend your Biden-Harris emergency fund money. Mr. Professor X.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need an emergency fund. I mean, you need a whole kit. You need a team. You need a plan just to deal with this shit, because these guys got lists. We've all been on lists for a long time, but now they're actually saying it on Twitter.
Oh, I'm on some lists.
The lists are cool, but honestly, they're trying to scare us because we know they don't got the numbers. They might have some of the military, but they ain't got all of the military, because currently Donald Trump has it. So if he thinks we're going to lose it, he'll fuck shit up before we get there. So we really have the numbers because we just saw at the vote. We did, because they stole it. So we're at least more than 50-50.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Trump got more people this time.
Trump won every state. Listen,
it's a landslide.
Something. I want to comment on something about how people are so programmed to something sad that I noticed. People, I need. We have not done enough on this show to cheer people up, guys. God damn it, I wanted this show about telling people not to.
Well, you know what? Hey, the thing is, if you look at Parler and everybody shooting over to Parler, I think it's a good thing. There's a movement. There's a movement. Everything's alive. It's like people right away they're shifting. They're saying, okay, we got to pull some moves. We're getting censored by Facebook and Twitter. We're no longer really safe on these networks, these apps, and it's just a shame.
Joe Biden says he won, and the following days, all the masks are out again. Okay, I've been going grocery shopping. I spend a lot of time in Publix.
You aren't shitting. I noticed that too.
Okay, so they were coming off. I thought that I was starting to see a few more people not going in with masks, going in bareface. But now after after Joe Biden announced, it's a sea of masks again. It's like they're just rolling over, like something that rolls over and plays dead and is a coward.
You know, when I go to Publix, okay, here in Florida, I don't wear a mask, but I don't, just to be courteous, you know, because I know everyone else is, so, and I'm not going to be
I don't
too
know.
weird about it.
It's not about
But
courtesy.
what I don't do is, you know, I keep my distance from people. And
they're weird.
yeah, I just don't say nothing to people. I keep my mouth shut. I don't, you know, I'm not, you know, going to talk and spit on somebody. I just go in, get my stuff, and get out.
I get claustrophobic in there anymore. Every time I go in there,
I can't wear the masks. I'm not going to sit here and just wear one for no reason.
Masks. Dude, I cannot even think about what's on my grocery list. I just have to. I walk out of there without buying everything I need because it's just too weird being surrounded by faces.
I definitely think the people there, you know, okay, so there's a scare, blah blah blah. Let the people that work there wear the masks, not the people going there. The people preparing the foods. I always felt like the ladies and the guys in the deli should be wearing one anyways when they're sitting over food talking and wrapping food. They're talking into your COVID or no COVID. I feel like people handling food should always have a mask on. Seriously, unless your job is, you know, seriously, because, well, you know what?
Yeah, whatever. You know,
that would be the only reason I see. I think if you watch people talk, certain people, things are flying constantly. They're flying. So I think people in the deli, when you're dropping $15 for some super chronic lunch meat, I don't want the guy's, you know, half of his mouth in there. So I'm okay with, but not. Yeah,
that's fine.
But I feel like if this virus is so bad, the masks won't matter. It'll be on everybody's hands, hair, everywhere. So it won't matter.
I think it's unfortunate that there are so many. I think we're dealing with a situation of cowardice now rather than people. Okay, so I went out to dinner with the family last night to a local place here who's only just now started to put up dividers. They put up these plexiglass dividers everywhere, and it's an outdoor place. It's a tiki bar. Okay, you guys probably know where it is. Okay. It's
that place right,
down the street from our alma mater. Okay. Okay, so you walk under, they got this giant grass roof that everything's underneath, and then they have these like 6-8 foot tall plexiglass dividers between rows of table, and as you walk by, you know, and it's just open air and the wind is blowing, there's a fucking hurricane coming. And my aerospace engineering background tells me that there's going to be all kinds of toroidal vortices formed in these rows as this wind blows by anyway. It's stirring up all the COVID, basically. So anyway, it just was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And I made what I think was an astute observation. And that's that these people that I'm seeing out here at the restaurant. Oh, by the way, nobody was wearing masks. Everybody was outdoors. Nobody was wearing masks. Nobody's wearing masks. Okay, everyone's there enjoying their food. I think everyone probably, and there were Trump people there because we got into some Trump conversations. So, and I know everyone in this town is voting for Trump. Everyone voted for Trump. Okay, so I'm thinking that all these people outside putting up with this bullshit with these dividers are not wearing masks. These must be the same people that I'm seeing in Publix that are wearing masks, that are afraid to not wear masks in Publix, and are wearing masks in their cars, and are wearing masks walking up to Publix and walking out of Publix. Did you know? Listen,
gloves and masks in their cars, gloves and masks.
But we would agree they have to be the same people, a lot of the same people. So how come so that means to me that people are still only wearing masks going into Publix because they are afraid of the ridicule and the shame that
Absolutely.
Okay. People need to stop. People, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, do not be afraid. Don't be afraid. Listen to me. If that means to me, it must be true. You're more afraid of what people are going to say to you than you are of this virus, this ostensive virus. You must know that it's bullshit. It's not out there. Look, the world is the same as it ever was. From horizon to horizon, there is no evidence of any danger no matter where you go. No matter where you go after all this time, the world is the same as it ever was. So it seems to me if our conclusions here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the Sunday edition of the program are true and correct, that means that the majority of you are just afraid of what people are going to say. Folks, you need to snap out of that. You just have to stop. You're the most magnificent thing in the universe, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever you are listening to this, you're the most magnificent thing in the universe. You don't have an appreciation enough for what it is to be alive, what consciousness is. What does it mean? What do you think you are? A walking, talking, thinking pile of dust? It's the most ridiculous bunch of nonsense I've ever heard of, okay? You're more than that, and you don't need to worry about what other people have to say about you or think about you. You don't.
Hollywood.
Say what now? Hollywood?
I have to.
Me, Hollywood. Sometimes
I have
people call me Hollywood.
I have an emergency broadcast myself to take here. I've received a transmission. I have to go here.
Highly unusual, Victrix.
I am gonna clock out. This is extremely important information for the program. I'm going to leave both you and Professor X. Don't forget, we don't have Twigs tonight. He's on a camping trip with his daughter, which that's a perfectly awesome reason to be not on the show. Twigs, we hope you're having a good time. Who knows who else could pop in? I'm out of here. I got to receive this transmission. This is way too important for the program. This Sunday night emergency program is brought to you by the program. I'm out of here. I'm the Victrix. Out of here.
Highly unusual, Victrix. Highly unusual. Made me forget what I was saying. Let's see. The Professor X. I don't know what we're going to do without the Victrix.
Yeah, I mean, his commentary will be tough. I mean, how much time do we got to fill? I got a ton of stuff we could get.
Well, I mean, we're actually we're basically right on time. We might as well just close it out and get closing statements. We'll just call that Victrix closing statement. Let's just call it a Sunday. We got 51 minutes. So
word.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you do? Would you like to? Is there anything you want to say? I mean, I just want to tell people not to worry. You know, I'll let you. You have the floor, man. You got the floor.
I would just say, trust God. That shit's real. He's real. Evil's real. It's something going on around here that we don't get. The psychological warfare that we're up against. Silent majority. They're trying to say silent minority. I don't know if I'm buying it. You guys just be strong.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. Glad you could join us, and I have to say I agree 100%. Evil is real. It is something dark and creepy and bubbly, and it just creeps around like a hot tar that just oozes and goos and creeps and seeps and gets in and creeps into the cracks of susceptible minds, corruptible minds. And there is something psychological going on. I mean, you just cannot explain the hate. I mean, just people are, and there is overt satanic stuff going on now. I mean, people are just basically saying it, and they're putting it on television. And this would never have happened a short time ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's where we're going to close it out. Take off the masks, save the world. I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. There's nothing new outside. Your face is your identity. It's who you are. They want to cover you up entirely. Your identity, your soul. I mean, there's more. When I say you, I think it means more to me than it might to a lot of you out there. And I think we all need to work on that. Ladies and gentlemen, take off the masks. Save the world. Thanks for tuning in to the program. Good night.